Cars firing up for the Winfield Sprint Car Stars. And we have one of the members of the Winfield racing team in the race, Brooke Tatnell. Gary Rush in the Castrol, car number 1. So we're starting to grid them up. The 8 of Brooke Tatnell, the 24 of Wayne Skipper. Australia 1, Gary Rush. 9, Colin Farr. 21, Gary Brazier. 86, Peter Craft. 54, Bob Tunks. The 3 of Robert Farr. 25 is Skip Jackson. And the 2 big guns of the night are up front in the Stars. Tatnell and Rush. One more lap around. Cars grouped nicely. Pace car leaves the circuit. Tatnell and Rush up front. Green light sends them away, and Tatnell on the inside, Rush on the outside, but Rush raced around the outside, grabbed the lead. Gary Rush, followed by Brooke Tatnell. Oh, Brooke Tatnell rearing high in the air, the 9 of Colin Farr holding down third place. Then comes Gary Brazier and Peter Craft. But Gary Rush is in the groove in the Castrol number 1 car and is off and running. The 8 of Brooke Tatnell doing a mono coming down Main straight away. That's how much power these Chevy V8s are getting coming down Main Straight. They're really pumping it. Rush the leader. Tatnell trying hard to stay with him, and I tell you what, Tatnell's not losing much ground at the moment. He mightn't be making up too much, but he's certainly not losing much either. Gary Rush the leader. Tatnell is running second. Colin Farr is third. Gary Brazier is fourth, then Peter Craft, followed by Colin Farr. Robert Farr, I should say, back in about 6th spot. 1 lap to go for Gary Rush. The Australian champ leading out. Brooke Tatnell running second. Then comes the 9 of Colin Farr, the 21 of Gary Brazier, but a strong wind to Rush. He takes it out, 1:19.991. Gary Rush, the Australian champ first, Brooke Tatnell second, and Colin Farr is third, and that looks to be a new 6-lap record here at the Motordrome. Gary Rush, the race winner. We'll head trackside for a trophy presentation. Well, the first of our sprint car trophy races over for the season, Neil Beattie from the Winfield organisation. Neil, we've finally got some fine weather to get underway here at the Motordrome. We had a bit of a stall at the start of the season, so thanks for being with us again for this season.
Pleasure, Ross. It is great to see that we've been blessed with some good weather and a good crowd here tonight, and consequently we've seen some great racing. Just like to say on behalf of the Winfield company, it's a pleasure to be associated with the Newcastle Motordrome again, and hope that our association can be very successful. And with the racing that we have seen, I'm sure it will be.
Okay, let's get on with the first of the presentations. The first of our sprint car appearances for the season for Gary Rush. Gary, from Neil Beattie from Winfield, please accept the trophy. Our congratulations. great to have you back at the Motordrome after a wet start to the season. We're set and ready to go racing, and I tell you what, you look like you were doing it. That's a new record for the Motordrome.
Yeah, it's always nice to set a new record, but you know, off the front it's... But then again, the way the competition is these days, to break a new record or set a new record, you just about have to start off the front because there's a lot of good cars around, a lot of good equipment. But it's nice to be back in Newcastle, and geez, we've got some racing ahead of us over the next 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, Gary, we certainly have. I made comment on radio this morning that gaining a new sponsorship is probably like a new start for a driver like yourself, because I guess it's probably pretty hard to gear yourself up year after year to do the same old thing. So a new sponsor makes you feel, well, here we go again, let's do it.
Yes, Ross, it is hard to build yourself up, but having Castrol, it's been fantastic for me. It's you know, it's really given me a chance to look forward to the next 3 years, and I'm looking forward to them. And just my short time with them, they just really look after me, and they really support me, and they're in behind there, and you know, I think we'll do real well.
Okay, the Sprint Car Classic coming up a little later on tonight, but first of all, congratulations on the early victory.
Yeah, thanks, Ross. Well, that's another race, and winning these races, it's all nice to set new records and things like that, but the main event's to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's Australian #1, Gary Rush. We'll see him out a little later on, and thank you very much too to the Winfield organisation and Neil Beattie. We'll see you, Neil, a little later, because we've got plenty of racing action to go on the card tonight.